Morning, folks. All right. Got some big shoes to fill. Joan and Sean definitely did their thing up here. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you guys for having me. I'm really excited to be up here at 2016's Food Talk. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to start off with a call and response. So can I get everybody on their feet? Yeah, I'm trying to get you guys on your feet. So the way the call and response works is that I just need you guys to repeat after me. I'm going to say, tell me what community looks like, and you guys are going to respond, this is what community looks like. So we're going to do that 3 times before I get into my speech. So tell me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Oh, come on, guys. I can't hear you. Tell me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. I don't hear you, Rockaway Youth Task Force. Tell me what community looks like. Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Looks like you guys got to start the food talk, get the energy flowing. All right. Thank you. So thank you guys for listening to me and getting warmed up. We got a big speech here today. I really want to get into food deserts and why they exist across New York City and how we are responding to food deserts that exist in the Rockaways. So this is us. This is the Rockaway Peninsula. We are located on Beach 58th Street, we meaning our community garden where we operate and do most of our programs. So who's ever been out to Rockaways? Oh, wow. Everybody's been to Rockaway. You guys been to our beaches, some of the things that we have to offer in the Rockaways. But how long did it take you guys to get here? Anybody? 10, maybe 15, 30 minutes. Well, the commute from the Rockaways into Harlem is about an hour and a half. You know, you can actually get to Jersey quicker than you can get to Harlem from the Rockaways. And that's something that we're also fighting against is transportation justice. But I'm not here to talk about that. We're talking about food justice. Got to stay focused. So let me give you guys a brief history of the Rockaways, our beautiful boardwalk. We are a youth organization. We serve young people, and we seek to empower them through local civics and community organizing. And one of the ways we empower young people is through our food justice program, which I'm going to get into. We exist really just to be the solution to the issues that are going on in our community. We follow a model of root cause analysis to really just get to the root of the issue and get the young people to come up with the solutions for those issues. And so this is our crew. This is us. About 40 young people. About 40 plus young people who are dedicated and organized. And the reason why I joined, like Jasmine said, I joined in 2011 when we first started because I really saw a lot of potential in the Rockaways, potential for us to advance, potential for young people to really make a difference and change some of the issues. And these are systemic issues. You don't change these things overnight. It takes organizing, it takes will, it takes dedication, and I can say that our young people have really been up to the task. So this is Superstorm Sandy. A lot of folks in the Rockaways, a majority of the folks in the Rockaways were affected significantly by the horrors of Superstorm Sandy. And this, I promise you guys, this goes right into food justice. So bear with me. I want to give you guys some context so you guys can understand. Superstorm Sandy hit in 2012, and folks and businesses were shuttered. We had a lot of grocery stores that weren't open or weren't able to provide anything for the people in the community. We were out of power for about 2 months. Me personally, I was out of my home and homeless for 7 months after the storm because my first floor of my apartment was flooded about 4.5 to 5 feet. And this is not a unique story. This is something that was common in the Rockaways during that time after Superstorm Sandy. So dealing with Sandy and the aftermath was a trying time for the entire peninsula. And I felt that it gave us a common ground to rally around, and our neighborhood lines no longer defined us. Because you guys saw the map, the Rockaways is a very divided community, and after Sandy or during Sandy, the lines sort of disappeared, and folks, you just saw that cohesion. You saw folks really just, trying to get, help each other out and help, get themselves out of the situation. So for a time, we were all Rockaway residents, all one, and that's something that's extremely something I'm grateful for, that we were able to see that happen. And so the Rockaway Youth Task Force, we organized a distribution center where we fed hundreds of people that were the in-between people, the people that the National Guard didn't reach. Oh, 5 minutes, okay. The National Guard didn't reach, and different Red Cross organizations who don't know the community. We were able to reach the folks who are on high rises and in the buildings. And so as I go into food deserts and the food talks, I want to give you guys a little bit more context about the pre-existing conditions in the Rockaways. We had issues of gang violence. We have issues of gentrification that were just going on already, but they were exacerbated by the storm and exacerbated by some of the things that the storm brought onto our communities. Additionally, post-Sandy, Rockaway drew a lot of aid and relief from local and federal resources, but it also brought, an unexpected visitor called gentrification. And over the past 3.5 years, we've seen our community change rapidly. Gentrification is not inherently negative, but seeing longtime residents being pushed out of their homes makes it very, very difficult to accept. Only 15% of Rockaway's housing market is stabilized. So meaning folks' rents can just go up, at any time. There's no stability in the rent market. And that's something that we work as an organization to solve indirectly with our young people. So some of our actions during the storm, like I said, we did a distribution center, etc. This is one of the grocery stores that was shuttered because of the storm and because of the effects of the Hurricane Sandy experience. And this is our response. In 2013, we partnered with Grow NYC, and we opened up a youth market, a farmer's market. And we said that we would not allow Hurricane Sandy to take away our ability to access fresh produce. We started a farmer's market, completely youth ran, completely youth volunteers, and we got out there and we said, we're gonna make sure our people get food. So, thank you. And so, let me just backtrack really quickly. Food deserts. So I heard some of our other speakers gave us really good definitions for food deserts, but a food desert for me is a place where fresh food, produce, local organic items are not easily accessible, but Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, those are right up the street. And we actually have downtown Rockaway, we have about 10 fast food chains in just a half-mile radius. That's not food justice. That's food injustice. And so after our immediate relief efforts, subsidized, we started to analyze Rockaway's serious food crisis. It's a very serious food crisis. And as I mentioned before, there are a severe lack of healthy eating options in the Rockaways, and that's why we feel as though we're a food desert. And the health profile of a typical Rockaway resident is startling. And according to the Department of Health, a Rockaway resident is almost 3 times more likely to be obese than his or her Manhattan counterpart. So additionally, diabetes is the 5th largest cause of death among our residents in the Rockaways. Both obesity and diabetes can be counteracted with a healthier diet. So I'm going to go into our community garden and our response to that, but I want you guys to repeat after me with some phrases that I feel that you guys should keep in your head and keep in your mind as you're doing this work and advocacy. So I'm going to just say, let me just take this microphone and use this one. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Awesome. I have the right to local, low-cost, and affordable food for my family. I have the right to know where my food comes from and food that is GMO free. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Because if we don't affirm it, it's not true. If we don't take it and claim it, it's not true. So I'm glad that you guys were able to affirm it with me. Thank you. And so part of our response to Hurricane Sandy and not having access to healthy food or eating options is our Rockaway Youth Task Force Community Garden. Now, the Rockaway Youth Task Force Community Garden, we acquired a piece of land in junction with the New York City Parks Department, and we built out this massive half-acre space in the Rockaways where we have so many different programs going on, so many ways for people and residents to access healthy eating options, cooking demos, training workshops, because we saw the need. We saw that there weren't no emergency centers that had access to food when our supermarkets were shuttered. So we saw the need to take that step further by organizing people in the community to have their own raised beds and their own plots. We have over 30 garden members who grow their own produce, take it home to their families, and are able to sustain their families with healthy eating options. These are some of our young people in this photo who helped build out the garden. Some of them have gone off to college now. We have a member who actually went off to Harvard last year, so that's really exciting because he's going to be continuing the fight for food justice on a different scale. So these are the young people who just really care about the community and are building out the community garden here. That's my brother. So he is also a member of the organization. We have the young people teaching them how to grow, teaching them how to sustain crops, and how to organize other young people to get involved in this type of work. And about the farm and the farm stand, just going a little bit more into context. Okay, all right, I got you. 2 minutes, guys. Give me 1 minute, 2 minutes. While the farm stand was a really good step, we're not satisfied and felt that we could do more to service our community. We advocated the city to allow the Rockaway Youth Task Force to develop the community garden and expand the community garden so we can service more young people, service more community residents, and have our voices heard, bring in fresh fruits and vegetables just to the backyard of folks who live in the community. I'm not sure if you can tell in the picture, but there's a school back there. There's NYC public housing back there in the photo that's around the community garden. So we're servicing a lot of people. And we asked Parks Department that it was appropriate for us to expand so we can service more people in our community. And I'm just really, as I close, I'm just really, really incredibly happy and proud of the food justice work that the Rockaway Youth Task Force has done in the Rockaways, has allowed me to get engaged with. And our community is extremely receptive to farming and working to increase the opportunities for Rockaway residents to grow their own food. This conference really gave me hope to the future of food justice movement because there's so many people who got up on a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. Now, you guys know you don't want to get up on a weekday, but you got up today to hear me speak. And you got up today to hear the rest of us speak. So you guys deserve a round of applause for that. We will continue as an organization to work hard to ensure that every person has access to fresh, healthy, and affordable food. Thank you guys for your time today, and I hope you took out a lot of important information on my speech.